Alright, if you're new to my channel, then you know by now that I am a racing fan, I'm a NASCAR fan, but I do a number of different things on this channel. This is intended for that person that does not know anything about the sport of NASCAR. This is going to be very brief, just going to explain to you what it really is. It's beyond cars just going in circles. So much more to it than that. Most of us NASCAR fans, we grew up with it. Our dads watched it, maybe our uncles or even aunts, grandfathers, grandmothers. It's just one of those things that you kind of grow up with. So, some interesting facts about the sport. They do a great job of supporting our troops during the different holidays that involves recognition to the troops and you know, all of that. They do a great job of recognizing our troops as well or better than any other sport out there. And I think that that's really great. Everyone stands for the national anthem. There is no kneeling in NASCAR. Every driver, every crew member stands. There is a televised prayer before each race, you know, for the safety of the drivers and the crew members. So seeing that is wonderful. Something you don't see very often. You certainly don't see it in any other sport. The patriotic paint schemes, that's another thing that NASCAR does just to support the troops and say thank you, you know, for what they're out there doing, our servicemen and women out there. So every year, a lot of the drivers, a lot of the teams will have different patriotic schemes that they go with. Really cool, really interesting. Red, white, and blue paint schemes, camo paint schemes. They do some really great shout outs to those who have fallen, and it's just a really great thing. In NASCAR, every single track is different, so it's not just cars going in circles. These guys have to get to these tracks and prepare their car to handle whatever kind of track that they're going to. If they're going to a track that has very high turns, high bankings, then they have to set the car up to be able to handle that. Different springs, different shocks, different suspension. These cars are not, they're very sensitive, so you have to, one little change can make all the difference in the world as to how the car is going to handle. The track temperature alone can affect the cars and how they run. If it's a very hot track, then obviously the surface is going to be very slick. If it's a night race, you may end up having a little bit more grip than you would during a hot daytime race. The track temperature will be much cooler. So everything comes into play with getting these cars around the track and getting the car into victory lane. So very small adjustments can mean all the difference. A half pound of air taken out of a tire or put in a tire can make the car run differently. That's how sensitive these cars are because they're traveling at such a high rate of speed. These cars can do a football field in a second. So they move quite fast, 190 miles an hour plus. So they can get up to 200 miles an hour or even more than that. It is not just about the drivers. It is indeed a team sport. These guys have to come in for pit stops. They have to get fuel. They have to get tires. They have to get adjustments made to the car during these pit stops. So it's definitely a team sport. It takes everybody working together to make a win happen. So us NASCAR fans, we love it for the memories. You know, I have memories with my dad of watching races when I was a kid, and a lot of us grew up with it. And there are a lot of new fans that pick it up just watching it on TV, or someone invites them to a race. And if you've never been to a race, I challenge you to go. It is a blast. I think the first time you go, you will be surprised if you're not a fan at just how much you enjoy it. Seeing those cars come by you, it sounds like a jet engine, almost, when they all come by you at the same time. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Go to my notes here. These drivers are athletes. No doubt about it. People say they're not, and they are. It takes a great deal of upper body strength to handle the G-forces. Yes, G-forces that you pull in these cars. Tracks like Daytona. Go and look at the banking at Daytona. I mean, it's your, sideways almost. It's crazy, and you're pulling down on that steering wheel, and the whole time the car is wanting to drift up. It's wanting to pull away from you, and that's just because of the high speeds and how hard you're having to crank left on that steering wheel. So, and these guys also face road courses during their regular season and even into the playoffs a little bit. And these road courses, at the speeds that these guys go, I mean, it's very physically demanding, constantly working that wheel. Not to mention the fact that these cars don't have air conditioners. They can get 130 degrees inside the car. On average, these drivers lose 10 pounds per race, and that's crazy. At some of these road courses, especially, they can drop 10 pounds easy. In the course of one race. Aerodynamics, yes, the cars are extremely aerodynamic, and any little bit of damage can take a car from running up toward the front to being just complete trash. These cars have to stay in good shape unless it's a short track and aerodynamics do not come into play as much. So that's just a little bit about NASCAR, and it's something that I love. And if you have a track anywhere around you, I challenge you, if you just don't like it, don't think you would like it, and you're just bored and you want something to do, go and check it out, because I promise you it will change your perspective. It's a lot of fun. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, hit the button right there. Go ahead and get connected with me, and click that bell. That way you're notified of all my future videos. And keep in mind, I do a variety of different things. I love talking about God on here and everyday life things, and I do go live here on my channel. Make sure you're connected. The bell is clicked. That way you know when I'm going to go live. So I appreciate you guys watching, and you guys take it easy.